Hello pre-cal students. We're back for another lesson, okay? But you guys, today, Miss Chang is not going to be talking to herself. She has some guest students, okay? So I want you guys to meet them. All right, please meet the gang. All right, you guys might recognize them. All right, they're happy to be here and happy to learn. So let me set the camera up. All right, sorry we couldn't finish our lessons today, so please watch and rewatch, okay? As many times as you like, okay? So hopefully this is clear to you. Let me just set the camera. All right, here we go. Let's go. All right. So here's where we left off today, right? We left off here with constraints, okay? So I'm going to skip number 21. But you know, you guys, I wanted the number 22 with you, which was really good. For F block, you didn't even see it. G block, you kind of saw it, and you kind of left as we were finishing up, okay? So cosecant theta of 4, and here's a constraint. Cotangent of theta is less than 0. That means, let's see, positive sign, negative. So positive sign is negative. Tangent is negative. I'm sorry, it's positive and negative, so it must be in quadrant 2. You got it, okay? Quadrant 2. Very nice, very smart of you, okay? So you guys, that means cosine is probably going to be negative, right? I mean, of course it's going to be negative because it looks like this, right? It's in this quadrant here. That means it's going to look like that, okay? But we don't even need the triangle anymore. So that's the first step. Okay, here's my second step. I have to find what I need, okay? But you guys, if you know cosecant, then you know sine, right? It's going to be 1/4 here. And cosecant theta is going to be 4, okay? That means you know opposite, you know y, and you know r, right? You know y and r. So let's actually find x. The second step is to find your x, okay? So how much did I move to the left? That's what you're finding, okay? So you guys, let's go like this. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. So we know that r, in our case, let's actually fill in for r variables, yeah? So our x squared, we don't know. Our y is 4 squared. And our radius is, our y is 1 squared. And our radius is 4 squared. I'm a little nervous today because we have guests, okay? I'm really sorry, guys, okay? So, guys, x squared is equal to 16 minus 1, which x is then 15 plus a square root of 15. But you guys, let's actually do a better job. X is equal to plus or negative root 15. But we know it's in the second quadrant, so we know it's going to be x is going to be equal negative root 15. Oh my god, I'm really nervous. Sorry. Negative root 15. Here we go. So ready to roll now, okay? So guys, cosine theta is going to be x over r. So negative root 15 over our radius, which is 4. And our tangent theta is going to be sine over cosine. And that gives us negative 1 over root 15, which is actually negative root 15 over 15, okay? And you guys, secant is going to be secant theta, I've already rationalized it. You get negative 4 root 15 over 15. And that's simply because it's just reciprocated, okay? And cotard theta or cotangent theta is going to be negative root 15. So make sure you understand that. If you don't, go back and do it slowly on your own and check the answers back, okay? All right, we'll be right back. I need to talk to my friends to make sure that they understand. All right. Alright, we're back. Okay, so you guys, part 3, finding exact values of 6 trig functions using the calculator smartly. Very important that you note that. It's very smartly, okay? So you guys, I don't want you to just because you have a calculator, don't depend on it too much because it only does what the owner tells them to do. Remember a couple of things here. Remember, mode. Are you using radian or degree? You got to decide, okay? And you got to know what kind of answers to expect. So when you get an answer, when you punch things in, you're not like, okay, I got it. You don't believe it. You're like questioning it. You're like, should I know what to expect? Know what to expect. So you guys, obviously you know that when you do sine or cosine, you know your answers, your solutions better be less than 1. When you do, of course, cosecant or when you do secant, then you know it has to be greater than 1, obviously, because they're reciprocals, right? All right, so keep that in mind as you're working, okay? So you guys, we have evaluates. All right, so we have this established. Let's try one, okay? Always know what to expect in the answer, okay? Sine 0.65, what does that really mean, okay? So think about always in terms of a circle, okay? I'm going to try my best to draw a perfect circle here. Oh, God, that is ugly. Okay, let's try that again. All right, So you guys always draw a circle and see what the sine means. You're looking for a ratio that's right between 1, right? That's the maximum value, and you have all these other y values here. And another one that you already know, like 30 degrees, right? You know pi over 6, you know pi over 3, you also know pi over 4, right? Let's try and think of pi over 4. Isn't that actually pi over 4? Sorry, I don't know why the pen's not working. This is pi over 4. Isn't that actually root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2? Like that. And that's pi over 4, just to have an idea what to expect, okay? So if you do sine pi over 4, but you guys remember, pi over 4 is approximately 0.7854. So do you expect sine of 0.65 to be greater than root 2 over 2 or less than root 2 over 2? Have that kind of idea. Is it below or is it above that, right, is what you have to think about. So let's actually think, okay? Think about that for a little bit, okay? Because you know root 2 is equal to root 2 over 2, right? And root 2 over 2 is about 0.707. So is it going to exceed that or not? Okay, so think about it. But obviously not, because look, this is a little bit higher, so we know it's a little bit under. So we know our point's about here somewhere. So let's see if it's a little bit under that. So let's try, okay? So in your calculator, punch into your calculator, sine of 0.65. At what mode do you have to be in? Obviously radian, and you'll actually get 0.605. And our expectations are correct, okay? Now, next part is going to be a little bit more difficult, okay? They want us to find theta for secant of this, and given this. But they want us to find the actual degree, okay? So use a calculator to approximate two values. You're going to find two values that make this true. Because if you think about it, sine, cosine, and tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent, they have two values. They have two values that actually are the same sign, that give you the same value. Two areas, okay? So let's think about this. We have a secant that's a negative. Secant is negative. Secant is negative where? You got it. Second quadrant and third quadrant, okay? So you know you should expect something like this. The theta is equal here and here, okay? So you see how these values are related, okay? But our goal is to find the angle measurement of theta, okay? So you guys, if you have a TI inspired, you can actually do this, right? So secant of theta, secant inverse theta, negative 1.2241. I want to see your work, and you'll get 144.778 degrees. And where is that? That's actually quadrant 2. So we're done with quadrant 2. But now we have to find quadrant 3, right? Quadrant 3. So what do we have to do for that? Quadrant 2 is done. That's 144 here, right? What about, we have to find actually quadrant 4-1. So we actually have to add back the reference angle. So we have to actually find that reference angle. And how do we do that? So that's 180. That's one in solution here. And isn't that just 180 plus the reference angle? So we have to find the reference angle. Okay? So the way to find the reference angle is going to be 180 degrees minus secant inverse negative 1.2241, which equals 35.222. Okay? That's that. That's that little theta here. But you guys, that's not what we want. We want the actual angle, right? Actual angle, that's this angle here. So we're going to do, we're going to actually add back this to, what did you say? You have to add it back to 180 exactly. So you guys, third quadrant, you're going to do this. 180 degrees plus 35. So you guys, don't round or anything. Just keep it in your calculator and scroll back to it, or store this value into your calculator. And you should get 215.222 degrees. These are your two answers that you should have got. Okay? Now, I want to do a little side lesson for those of you that don't have a TI inspired with the fancy secant functions, okay? Oh, so you guys, if you don't like this notation, actually you could do 180, right? Plus, oh, I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's good. Okay, but you guys, I want to do a little side note, okay? Those of you that don't have inspires, you can look at this. So you guys, let's say you don't have secant on your calculator. You don't have secant. Don't have, okay? Here's what you do. So you guys, you remember this? Remember that cosine of theta is equal to, so let's actually go back. Secant of theta didn't equal negative 1.2241, right? Right? Didn't equal negative 1.4421. So that means cosine of theta is equal to what then, right? It's going to equal 1 over negative 1.2241. Okay? Do you understand that part? Good. So now, you guys, aren't you actually finding cosine inverse of negative 1 over 1.2241? And that's going to equal your theta. So those of you that don't have Inspire, you have to enter it like that. So when you know Inspire, okay, for other TIs, okay, that's what you have to enter, like that. I know a lot of you guys are going to do cosine inverse of this. That's not going to work, okay? And you should do it the same way. And if you do that, you'll get the same answer. Theta is 140.778 degrees, which is in the second quadrant. So you have to find the other one in the third quadrant. All right, good luck with that. Let's roll one more example for you, okay? So guys, last example. So guys, let's go into number 91 here, okay? Same way. First, identify the quadrants. You know it's going to be in quadrant 3 and 4. So you know it's going to be here or here, okay? Just understand that so that it's easier for you to calculate and use your common sense, okay? So let's see, where's my blue? Okay, here we go. So guys, let's do sine inverse of negative 0.4793. And when you punch that into your calculator, you should get negative 28.6397. Okay, I'm not rounding yet, okay? But I just wrote that. But you understand what that means. It means this is the reference angle here. So what do you think you have to do for the third and the fourth quadrant? Try it. Stop the video and try it, okay? So for the third quadrant, theta equals 180 minus sine inverse of 0.4793. Okay? And you should get 208.64 degrees. That makes sense, right? Because 180 plus that, because it's actually a negative value, right? And for the fourth quadrant, it's going to be 360 degrees plus sine negative inverse 0.4793. And you see how I found that value, but I'm not actually using that value. I'm actually using the whole function here, okay? Do it that way. It's more exact, I think. 331.36 degrees is your answer. And that makes sense. Third quadrant, fourth quadrant, and you're done, okay? But you guys, there are many ways to do this. You're free to do it however you want, okay? All right, good luck. Bye. Part 4, easy peasy. Finding indicated trig values in specified quadrants, 97 and 98 we're going to do together, okay? This is number 97. And you guys, they gave us sine is negative 3 over 5 and cosine. They want us to find that, and it's in quadrant 4. Well, automatically, what do you know? You know that this actually is going to give you a positive value here, okay? And how do you do that easily? Remember, use your trig identities, okay? Identities, okay? Use your trig identities, you guys. Isn't sine squared theta plus cos squared theta, isn't it equal to 1? Isn't it equal to 1? So you guys use that fact. So you know it's going to be negative 3/5 squared plus cos squared theta is going to equal 1. So when you do the calculations there, you get cosine squared theta is equal to, that's actually 16 over 25th, right? Okay, and you get that cosine of theta is going to equal 4/5. Easy. If you do it this way, it's just easier, okay? Same with the tan. But you guys, use this trig identity. This is number 99. Use this trig identity. Use tangent squared theta plus 1 is equal to secant squared theta. And because you need to find secant, right? So all you do is tangent squared theta is 9/4 because you have 3 over 2 squared. Plus 1 is going to equal sec square theta, okay? Then you get sec theta is going to equal negative root 13 over 2. Because when you actually solve this, right, you guys, don't you get sec square theta is equal to 13 over 4? So you'll get plus or negative, but you know you have to take the negative value because you know it's in the third quadrant. Third quadrant, cosine is negative, okay? Hope that helps. Good luck. Hey, they're going wild, you guys. They're going wild. They loved it. Okay.